Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be setting up a Streamr node on a VPS hosted by Racknerd. To set up a node on a virtual private server, there's a few things that you're going to need to know. So there's two different setups that we're going to be looking at right now. If you're going to be doing a single node versus multiple nodes, and on a single node, you're going to need at least one virtual CPU, 512 megs of RAM, and 500 gigs of bandwidth. For multiple nodes, I believe you can go up to 5 on one IP. You'll need one virtual CPU, 1 gig of RAM, and 1 terabyte of bandwidth. Now, these are approximate specs, and this is what I've gathered from some documentation. They're a little bit flexible. In this example, we're going to be doing a budget setup, so we'll be using Racknerd as a host, but I have other services that I'll also link in the description below. Feel free to use my links or use whatever server you'd like. Here are the steps to install the node. First, we'll be activating a VPS service. Next, we'll create and log into a server. Then we'll be installing Docker. Right after that, we'll be installing and configuring the Streamr node. Next, we'll set up Metamask and add the Polygon network to it. And lastly, we'll be buying some data tokens and staking them. If you find this guide useful, you can do me a favor by smashing that like button. What it does is it helps you reach as many users as possible, and I greatly appreciate that. So let's go ahead and set up a Streamr node. So we're at the Racknerd's website, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting our hosting here. You don't need anything too special to host the node, so you can go ahead and use the virtual private server at $1.92 a month. And if you check out the plans here, if you're going to be setting up a Streamr node, this is going to be more than enough for you. So I'm going to go ahead and order this. We have a label here. This can be changed at any time, so I'll just leave it as default right now. The hosting location, you have one of 6 locations that you can select here. I'm going to select the one in New York. And the operating system, I'm going to be using Ubuntu 20.04, 64-bit. 1 gig is fine, and then I have the 1 core. So that's everything that I need. I can go ahead and click on continue. Now that we're logged in here and I have an active service, you just need to go into your account history and go into your account details. So inside here, just go to your email history and you'll get a message here. Now you should have gotten this already in your email, but you can also access your email history through your account. And then you click on view message. And this is where your VPS login information is. Your root, username, password, and everything that you require to log in is going to be in this message. Just got to click on it and it'll pop open. Mine opens up in a separate window. So you have everything that you need for your VPS to log into it. And we can go ahead to the next step. Okay, so I'm back at the main page here and I have one active service. So I'm going to click on that right now. And as you can see here is the active service. So we'll go in here by clicking on it. So we're inside and you can see that it's offline right now. So you might see this when you first log in. And what you want to do is just boot it up. You can click on the boot up option right over here and that'll take place. It takes a few seconds for it to load up. Okay, you can see now it's online and it's just booting up. You do have the option to VNC into this system. So you can check a look at the display. I'll just click on the HTML option over here and make it a little bit bigger. There you go. So now you can see it actually loading up. So this is just so you get a visual of what's actually happening on the system. Okay, so there we go. So it just booted up and we're back at the login screen. This is what we need to know is that it's fully functional and it's ready to go. Just going to close out of this window. And what I'm going to use right now is I'm going to use Putty to log into my server. Putty is an app that it's going to allow you to SSH into your server. I'll make sure I link that in the description below. It's a free application and it works very well. It's bulletproof. And now what I'm going to need is my IP address and password. I'm going to be using all the default information that was emailed to me. So I'm going to put in my IP address in here, leave the port as default, and then I can just click on open and it's going to want to connect to the server. I'll just click on accept. And now this is where I type in my username, which is going to be root. Hit enter and it's going to ask for my password. Hit enter and there we go. So we're logged in right now. So we've logged into Ubuntu. This is Ubuntu 20.04 and it looks like curl is not installed. So we're going to go ahead and quickly just do a sudo app update and we'll also do the upgrade just to make sure that we have everything we need. It's a good idea to update the operating system before you continue with any installations, just making sure that everything is up to date. So the update and the upgrade is done and now we're going to install curl. So sudo app install curl and then hit enter and it's going to install the package. Just be a moment here and say yes and we're done. So now we can go ahead and install Docker. So Docker is going to be the first crucial component that we're going to need installed. It's going to be 2 commands. I'm just going to minimize this window and make this a little bit bigger. so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so we have two commands that we're going to run. We'll paste in the first one, and this will all be listed in the description below. Hit enter. Okay, and then we'll run the second line. And now the script is running. So it's going to go ahead and install all the components that's required for Docker. It might take a minute or two while it does that. What I'll do is I'll just skip over to the end of this portion. Okay, so that is done, and it looks like Docker is installed. Just to confirm that we have Docker completed, we can just check out what the Docker version is. And to do that, you just have to type in Docker space -- version, hit enter, and you can see that the latest version 20.10.16 has been installed. So we can jump over to the next step, which is to install the Streamr package. Okay, and to install Streamr, we're just going to first make our directory, and we're going to paste in this line, and it's make directory, and we're going to call it Streamr. Streamr Docker. Now you can just add it, if you're doing multiple folders, you can just add it in variations by just adding a number to it. The most important part is just to know which node and which folder are together. So I'm going to make this directory. It's going to be the default one, and I'll hit enter, and it's been created. So to now install and configure the Streamr node, we're just going to be using one of their configuration scripts. It's going to paste it in here and hit enter. And it's going to run through the steps of installing all the components that's required. And then it'll ask us a couple steps for ports, and then we'll be able to just wrap that up. So we'll just let that go through. What I'll do is I'll just jump over to the next step. Okay, so we have the installation component done, and now what we're going to be doing is configuring it. The first question is to generate or import a private key. I highly recommend you generate a new one for every node. So we're going to be selecting generate. So it's already selected. You can see it in blue. Just have to hit enter on my keyboard. The key that's going to come up right now, you want to make sure you store it in a safe location and make sure no one has access to it. So I'm just going to say yes to this. So my private key is right over here. I'm just going to highlight that, and I'm going to open up another window here. Okay, so I have my private key saved, and it's in a secure location, so I don't have to worry about that right now. And I can go over to the next step. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just using the default selection for the ports and everything else that it's selecting. Do you want to enable the plugins here? So you just can toggle A for all of them, I to invert selection. I'm just going to be typing in A here because I want them all to be installed. Hit enter. The port numbers, all default ones that are selected right now, I'm just going to be using default. So I'll just hit enter all the way through. So enter, enter, and enter. And do you want to participate in mining and staking? Of course we do. So we'll say yes, hit enter. And it's letting us know the default path. Now this is the default path. And now this is the default path if you're running a node on Ubuntu. It won't be hard to locate this because it's in most documentations, but for your records, it's a good idea maybe just to copy and paste that into a safe location so you have quick access if you need to refer to it later. So that path is fine by me, and I'll hit enter. And so our node is set up right now. Okay, and the last step right now is to run the Docker node. So we're just going to put in this command line. This will be in the description as well. Just hit enter, and you'll get the status of this loading up. Okay, and you can also see that the network node status is running right now, so we're good to go. I can minimize this. You can actually close the window now that the node is up and running. And now we're going to go over to the next step, which is to stake some data tokens. And I'm going to open up my browser here, and I'm at the Metamask website. So I'm going to go ahead and install this by clicking on the download button over here. I'm using Chrome, so I'm going to select Chrome, and we'll scroll down a little bit further here and install Metamask. Add it to Chrome, click on add extension, and there we go. So we have our Metamask wallet installed. So I'll click on get started. So now if you already have a Metamask wallet, you can import your wallet, but if you're starting from scratch, we're going to click on create a new wallet, and then we can say I agree, and we give it a password here. And then we can select the terms of use and then click on create. And now it's talking about securing a wallet. So it's going to give you a secret phrase. You want to make sure that you keep this in a secure location. And then what you're going to do is repeat it back. And we have the MetaMask wallet all set up and ready to go. So we'll click on that, and we can just close out of this. And here is our wallet. To stake Streamr, we need to make sure that we're on the Polygon network. And by default, the Polygon network is not here. So we have to add that network. And here are the settings for the Polygon mainnet. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that in, and I'll be adding a new network. And I'll paste it in over here. Okay, and now we have all the information added in here, so we can click on save. So now we're going to go ahead and open up our MetaMask, and we're going to be importing our wallet. We're going to select import, and we're going to put in the private key that we just got from our node, paste it in there, and then click on import, and there we go. So now it's imported, Matic is added. And now what you want to do is send some Matic to this wallet. So then you can go ahead to any exchange, purchase Matic, and then send it to your MetaMask wallet address. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be swapping the Matic for data tokens. So now we're in QuickSwap and we're going to go ahead and we're going to exchange for data tokens. We have Matic selected right now and we're going to be selecting the data token. So I'm going to get the address for data tokens. I'm going to paste that in here. And here is the data token. I'm going to click on add. Okay, we have it there. And now we have the data token listed. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add it to Metamask so I can easily find it. So I'll click on assets and import the token, paste the same address in here. It's going to auto-populate the other fields. Click on add and then import. And there we go. So we have Matic and we have data right now. And I want 10,000 data tokens. So I'm going to do 553 Matic. 10,000 is the maximum amount that we're going to be going for right now. So go ahead and click on confirm swap. And we'll also have enough Matic to cover the fees, which is just going to be a few cents for this to go through. And so the maximum amount that you can have, we have 10,000 data tokens that have been confirmed and their transaction's been confirmed, and it should show up in our wallet in just a moment. You go under assets. You can see that I have just under 10,000 in here. So I'm almost maxing it out. As I accumulate, I'll make sure I get to the exact 10,000 data tokens. The reason why I'm choosing 10,000 is because that's the maximum amount of data tokens you can stake per node. In order to maximize the profitability, I'm putting in the most. You can have much less than that, but I'm just trying to get the most earning potentials out of each node that I'm deploying. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Rubik.app right now, and just need to put in our address. So we have Rubik right now, and we can go ahead and click on our MetaMask wallet. So want to make sure you select the right account, click on next and connect. And Rubik is now connected, and we can go and see our node. So the data tokens have not registered yet. It'll take a few moments for that to happen. Okay, I've just refreshed the page and now my tokens are now showing up here, 9,960, just shy of 10,000. So I'm pretty much maxing out my earnings potential here. And I'll just refresh it one more time. So I'm at the burbicscan.app website. And if you click over here for the profile, you'll see accumulated rewards and everything else that's related to your specific account. And you can scroll down a bit here and you can see the current APY for this project. So everything will accumulate in here as it goes along. And that's it. So we've set up our Streamr node. We have staked some data tokens to it, and we're now ready to start earning some crypto. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please smash that like button. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.